All right, here we go. September 29th, end of the month. Let's take a look at some moves that are happening. IMRX, 129% from the algo pick up 815. You go all the way up here to 10. Excuse me, not 815. This was, hold on a minute. My chart's all messed up. The date was 815, 346. 346. There was the date, 815. So this came down, oversold, ran, a break at 6, and then you go all the way to 10. Now, on this run here, yeah, you could have got out here, see what it does. And then you can see it's consolidating back over 6. It's another play. It doesn't have to be one play. This is where the algo picked it up. They didn't have a sell till here. That's why it's not going to be perfect. Nothing's perfect in trading yet. Remember that. So to me, this shooting star was the sell, really, because I can tell on charts. I've looked at this so long. Now you have a short in play, and really the short was up here coming down. Weekly chart, and we'll see how far this goes. Maybe to 6, then we'll see what happens on that weekly, because that's where you had resistance. Now it's going to be support. So we'll see what happens on that. But in this play here, 129% on IMRX. All right, let's take a look at this. NUAI. Now, I've done this video before. The other day, the algo 911.43 cents. Look at that. You start to break over 50, 75, a dollar roll. Goes past 250 today. This is on fire, 265. Weekly chart, you're going straight up. Where's this going to stop? Now, they can put in the hammer anytime. Once you start to run up like this penny stock, like who knows where this is going to drop. It's just part of penny land. So you have right here 250 resistance. You could say 3, and take it from there. It's got to break back 250 to make it 3, but it's a long run right now. You're talking 473% from this low on NUIA, which has been a beast. All right, let's see what else we got here. Anything else good here? Da, 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 da. Let's checking through some charts. AMPY, this did this one. So the algo alert was right here. 4, 9, 10, 391 on September 10th. Look at that crossover. Now, there's multiple ways to play so many things when you're swing trading. You can do trend lines. I'm doing algos here. This has a good crossover. So that's, double. The algo's pointing it out right here. Right here, that's two good, looks right here. And it's going to work when you have a crossover in this, the combination. And it did. It gives the 450. Shadow candle could have been the sell. They just sell right here. That's pretty good. It doesn't have to be exact. You don't have to get the exact sell in the candle. Once you get in and you're at your spot, you're taking profit. So this is coming down. We'll see how far this goes. You have the wick here, 517. This could fall through. All right, QBTS, another one is quantum. You're talking 9 to the 9's 1556. Here it is. Look at that move. So you come out of it. Draw the line here. Draw the line right here. See the little move up and then down. Then it's consolidate. Look at the 15 line. You hold just about. It went through a little bit, probably like 10 times, and it's starting to make its way up. Look at the low to high. Go to 29. There could be the sell. Now, the algo don't have the sell right now. It's not on there. So this is where you got to use your own thoughts. This ran up 15 to 29. Where's the sell here? To me, it's here, the cross, and even here. And it's starting to make this wave down. And if this drops, maybe 23, you have support at 21. And the weekly starting to make that turn. So it could run out of steam here. All right, NX, we just did a video on this too. I believe it's Cadnan Company. They do a lot of furnishing, stuff like that. They had the big drop down here. The algo picked it up. Now they have a move here that it could go up. The buy 929, very oversold. So you're starting to make that bottom run. You're coming up. Weekly chart, I like. Look at this. You're going straight down. You're almost at a crossover. That's a good sign you're bottoming and you're starting to go sideways. Now, how far can this go? It's very tough to say 22, 23, 13. Like it's somewhere in the middle, 16 to 18. That would be a very good zone right here. And that's it for the movers that I had on my algo right now. So let's look at the market. What happened today? It was a very strange day, like weird action, not the best of action. And yeah, Wolf was a crazy move today. Wolf speed. And what was the news on this? Wolf speed exit chapter 11 bankruptcy slashes debt and interest costs. Appoints 5 experienced directors to its board. This thing rocketed up. It's a crazy move. Like you'd never trade this move, but look at this. It's one big candle, comes down, goes up again. Who's trading this? Then it's hold it, and then you get a 25. So that's a no in the trade, but just showing you what happened. Absolutely crazy. LABD. I think this is a Biotech Bears. I think it's a split coming up. BQ. Very tight candles in this 3. You run 7, 13, come back, go to 17 plus on BQ. Nice long. And these are all the top gainers. YCBD, 75 cents, goes all the way to 175. Good run here. A lot of times we'll get the straight up run. I'll pull back, I'll try again. Yeah, fades. It always does that after 1, 2 runs. ENTA was more of a longer run today. You're 7. Look at this. You're right to 15. That's a beautiful run long. Beautiful run long. JFB, too choppy. I mean, you can get in on these little moves, but way too choppy for iTrade. TLRA, Tilray, 135, you had a 185 on that. IBG, MSOX. It's trying to come on now. It's had that big run, fade it. Now it's coming up again. VIVX after hours, Benef after hours. Score too choppy. Stack. See, there's not a lot of moves today. Not like we normally were getting. BKKT 19. This gives a 26. It's a very good move. Now here's another one. This is another great play for these gap downs. 26. You gap down. This is probably news. All right, you fade. And what's it do? Tries to go up. It probably stops you out. Comes down to 8. And eventually you want to get over 10, and then you want to get over 1088. Look what happens. You're playing long on the gap fill, or at least get into the gap. You don't know for sure. And look what happens. You go straight up. A lot of this, the gap fills quickly. I've seen these maybe 3 months, 6 months. It's because it's going to take longer. The market's still very strong, though. If the market wasn't that strong, maybe this would take longer. But they're pushing it right back up. Short, you were shorting it here. Then the news, and look at this, right back up. That's a standard play. I heard gap fills are about 3 months. Somewhere around that. Sometimes sooner, of course, sometimes longer. All right, what else we got here? MSS, look at this, straight up, and then fades all the way down. POAI, same thing. One large candle, and then you fade. ANGX, kind of choppy. What else? BRNS, nothing much there. PSTV, okay, move long. This was early morning pre-market. There's another one after hours. And that's it. All right, so that's the top list today. So, some good moves, but not like we were having in the market. As I go over to FinVisor. FinVisor, it's plus 68 today, plus 107, plus 17. S&P plus 0.28. The Russell, let's see the big gainers today. They're the losers. Some news down here. Gold hits highs on U.S. shutdown fears. I don't fear this shutdown. They say government shutdown. Was it every 6 months or something? Even if it's a few days, it's going to do nothing. It means really nothing. What else? BOG board. U.S. labor market is running on fumes. And that was some of the news here. All right, you can see crypto here. See Bitcoin, Ethereum trying to bounce back here. Excuse me. This is the daily chart on Bitcoin. So you can see back in 2024, we're at that 60, 50,000. Look at this move up, came down. We've been grinding up. Pretty much held 110, trying to break 120 now. Weekly chart, look at the weekly. So remember when it was at like 18,000, 15? Always buy low. Remember, maybe it takes longer, maybe it takes months. Always low in the market when the market's bottoming or it's getting totally beat up. And then look at this. You go long. Now we're to me, this looks like consolidation unless something breaks down just like this. We went down a little further, but nothing's really changed on that. I said maybe we go to 90,000 possible, but that's where we're at on that. Ethereum's trying to come back from that 4,000. Now 4,000 was major resistance. Now it looks like it's support if that holds right there. See weekly chart on Ethereum. Look how many times. One, two, this cluster, all these times. And now you're trying to hold that. If you don't hold, you're probably going much lower. So watch for that. Here's Solana. 200, 250 on the weekly. Where's the daily at? Daily's been grinding since April. 100, 140, 160, 200. It's very good to see. These are longer moves too. People think a lot of these crypto moves, you just put money in, you'll be rich. It's just going to go up like that. These are longer moves, especially these bigger cryptos. Because you had 100, you get a 140. Look at this 160, 200. Now you're holding here. It looks like it's going to go back up from there. BNB, talking 500, 700. Look at this climbing again. It's very good long. XRP, you can see when it was at 2, that was a strong hold from 2, many times. Count them wicks. And then you broke down right here from February, this low, this high line. You make a trend line. It was a descending trend line and it broke up 350. Now it's consolidating. It's really doing nothing here, but it is holding, you could say, about 267. See these little wicks here? So you're coming up there. We'll see that. Here's Dogecoin. Dogecoin was at 15, 20. It's coming up very slowly. ADA, you hit a low here, 50 cents. Look at the wicks here. Look at that. 1, 2, 3. You take off the 1. It's climbing back and forth. Not that strong. It doesn't look. TRX. This was on a run, wasn't it? I did a little bit of crypto if it gets extremely hot, but I'm usually stocks. I'll do crypto on the stock market. I'll do ETFs. So this was a 22, 20. Look, it's 35. It's the wall here a little bit. AVX 15, 20, 30, XLM, Stellar. I haven't really looked at these that close recently. Look at this move on XLM. Talking 20 cents, 25 gives the 50. There's your double. Look at the volume. Then it faded. This is pure consolidation. Draw your line right here. This is a descending triangle. And if 35 cents holds, this will break up and make a nice move up. XLM. Here's dot, pretty much low, not doing much. It's got a break. Eventually 468 and then 5. Let's get back over that. Chainlink. Yeah, this was a nice move. 10, move to 12. Yeah, the past 6 months gives the 28. Big dip down to 20. That hold, that's a new base. See these bases up, consolidation, base, base, BCH. Been grinding since April. Big dip here. Oh, here's SUY. 2 went to 4. You could say it has to break over 4. It did it many times. See these lines, and it came back. So it's struggling to get back there. Near. A few more here. Near 2. It's got to get over 335 again. Litecoin. This was below 70 in April, 80. Low got higher, 100. Came back to 100 here. It's fading. It's got to hold 100 to keep that base. APT, not doing much. You have the 4 line and the 6 line. It's caught in between there a long time. EGLD. 12, and I would say 18. Got to give her 15 too. Not that interested in that. OP. OP 60 cents. Hard to see these charts on these 60. And I would say it's got to get over about 87 on OP. And the last one I have here is AAVE. Went deep down to 120. Went to 211, 250. Now you want 250 to hold. It's come to this line before, and then that's got to be the whole point. Eventually, you wanted to break up 350 on this on AAVE. All right, futures right now -2, 250, NASDAQ -13, 120, VIX 1780, 6312, oil, gold 3870. I believe it'll go to 4 to 5,000 eventually. And that's where we're at. So the market, keeps going up. It was a pretty good day today. I just think something's going to happen. We're forming this wedge. I said this before when we had that big crash. What was it? Last year, whatever it was. And look at the SPY here. Yeah, when we faded back in February, March, I was calling for something. I said it's not getting higher, and then it started to fade. And that was a good call. Now we're just going up. It seems like we're on fumes. There's nothing pushing it. They're trying to keep pushing AI, quantum. They keep saying it. These companies are frauds, a lot of them. They don't have no revenue. If you see this start to round on the weekly and then we start to go down, that's what you want to see. You want to see a big drop, and then you're going to get in. Now, if we do drop, it looks like right here that 613, maybe even 600. That would be my call. Monthly chart. There it is. We crossed up, and we're almost sideways now. That means, to me, the run's ending. You're almost equal in stochastics. 96.76, 95.30. It's almost at a cross point. Now, how far will we go down? It's hard to say. It's got to be news. Got to be something happen besides just profit taking. Little line here. These are very small candlesticks. It's not like this before that volatility in April. So we'll see what happens on this. All right, that's it. Little recap today's market. Some good movers, not like the last few weeks where everything was running and it was very, easy longs and even maybe some good shorts. And the market too was very good the last few weeks, even before that. And today it definitely struggled. If you pull up some charts, like I like to trade a lot of ETFs. Like this wasn't that great today, Saxo, but I did the video early in the morning. It was a good short. It stacked up. There's your fade. Then it faded again, went down again. And look at this after hours. So there's some good moves here. All right, that's it. Please subscribe to Mike Cayman Trades on YouTube. Smash the like button. Leave your comments, thoughts, stock market, anything else. Let's go. Peace.